Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the August 2020 Shadow Work Tarot reading for the sign of Scorpio. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it won't apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus placements. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs and see which video's title resonates for you most. With that title in mind, if you feel you have another sign that is very placement heavy, that doesn't necessarily correspond to those particular placements, that's fine. You can watch that video, okay? So in regards to the layout, I'll be using a variety of decks, as you can see here. We'll be pulling 2 cards from the Dark Mirror Oracle deck, 1 card from the Moonology, approximately 5 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and a few cards to clarify further using the Intuitive. Now, the reason I say approximately is because, some signs have been a bit greedy, so there's been 1 or 2 extras. But yeah, that's the gist of it. And of course, if you would like to have a personal reading with myself, you can find all the information in the description box below. Okay. So, Scorpio, let's see what's happening for you then. So let's get into your reading. So what is it the shadow aspect is revealing at this time for the sign of Scorpio? What is it that's being brought to the surface at this time, particularly with this full moon transit in Aquarius, in order to be understood, purged, healed, transformed? What's being revealed by the shadow aspect for the sign of Scorpio? For Scorpio, please. All right. So the first card you got is Triumph of Lies, followed by Masquerade. Who was it that had Masquerade? I did another reading for another sign yesterday and they had Masquerade. I can't remember who it was. Regardless. So with this combination, it's like everything looks all good on the surface until you dig just beneath, right? So this is a case of there's some energy, right, that's being brought to the surface that is surrounded or is very much the energy of deception, right? So it's a case of whatever lies that we tell ourselves to appease the ego, whatever lies that we, cloak ourselves in to protect the ego is ultimately going to come shattering down, right? And then we're going to have to pick up those pieces. So I feel like there is some element of what you are projecting to the world that isn't based in or isn't grounded in the true reality of things, right? So you may be putting on a smile, putting on a mask, right, when you're in public, especially if you are in the public eye, if you have, say, a strong social media presence, if you're an influencer, if you have, some kind of celebrity status of some description, or you are in the, public eye in some form, then it gets, more and more, I wouldn't even say tempting, but it's like you feel more and more compelled or obligated to put on a certain mask, right? Especially with the masquerade energy here, that's what it's talking about. So you may be, very appealing, very attractive, very pleasing to the eye, right? And you are using your looks and you're portraying yourself in a certain way. You may be dressing in a certain way, communicating in a certain way, doing things in a certain way to project an idea of who you are or what you aspire to be. But it's not actually indicative of who you truly are, what lies beneath the surface. If you dig a little bit deeper, people will find that that's not actually indicative of who you are as a being, right? As a person. And you feel like perhaps, the more you cloak yourself in these lights, the more you conceal your true nature, the more privacy perhaps you feel you'll have, or the more you'll be able to maintain, certain secrets or keep certain things out of the public eye that you think are less desirable perhaps, that people are not going to find very attractive or find very appealing about you, right? Perhaps you're hiding your humble beginnings. Perhaps you're hiding the fact that, you know, your family life is extremely complicated, or maybe you're hiding the fact that, you know, you're not as outgoing and carefree as perhaps you portray that you are. It can manifest in various different ways, okay? But that's the main energy we're getting here. So if we take a closer look at, you know, triumph of lies here, this is the lies, okay? This is, you know, being able to project a false image. Let me just move this because I'm aware that's like cutting right in the middle. Incense is going crazy today. So yeah, this is literally a case of, you know, you want to achieve certain social status. You want to achieve certain material gain. You want to be able to cloak yourself in the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. And perhaps you are accomplishing that, you know, and I don't doubt that you've put the work in to get this, so no one can take that from you. However, what is being asked of you as a consequence, you know? Are you having to bend on your morals? Are you having to change who you are in order to fit the mold, right? Demands being made of you that, you know, are conflicting with your beliefs or with how you perceive to be the best possible way to do things. You know, if there's anything like that going on that's making you question, you know, if this is really a life that I want to lead, you know, that's something worth taking a closer look at, because while of course you're going to grow, you're going to evolve, and you're going to change, if you're being asked to change in a way that you believe to be detrimental or even toxic, then that's something that needs addressing, right? And then with masquerade here, you know, this is a false mask. This is someone who uses their charm, their looks, you know, their ability to win people over to gain success, to gain, you know, social standing, you know, is generally seen as the life and soul of the party. Someone who is, you know, well-to-do or becomes well-to-do, you know, it's like socialite energy, right? It's that type of thing. But beneath the mask, the person themselves are filled with doubt, are filled with feelings of lack, feeling of it not being, you know, aligned to who they really are, feeling actually quite sad, you know, maybe even feelings of despair, because everything that they're engaging with at this time is on a surface level. There's no depth to any connection here with this energy, right? And that is what you're feeling, maybe, that you're lacking at this time, that real soul level and emotional depth with your connections with people, right? Everything's just very surface level when it comes to maybe your passion, your work, a relationship, friendship groups, you know, family interactions, whatever it is. It's going to be different for each and every one of you. But it's that type of deal, right? So I'll just pop these cards there. So hopefully you can see them somewhat. Okay. So let's head over to the Moonology deck. I think you've got a good grasp of what these energies represent. So let's see what the Moonology deck can reveal about this. Okay. Adjustments are required, quarter moon, right? So this is it. It's saying, okay, you don't have to just give up the life that you've created for yourself and walk away, or you have to just cut off all these connections. It's a case of you have to look deep within, okay, and take a closer look at, you know, what is it that you're realizing? What is it that it is dawning upon you at this time that requires closer, you know, examination? Because there's something about your circumstances, there's something about your interactions or connections, or the way you're simply, you know, portraying yourself that is not authentic, right? There's something about the way in which you're excuse me, the way in which you're conducting your life that is not authentic. So that's what needs taking a closer look at. And then you can do something about it. Then you can, you know, align yourself, right? be communicating from a more authentic space, being more honest and open, being more transparent. I think that's the key word here, transparency, right? Rather than being shrouded in mystery and people not really getting to know the real you just being more transparent. I'm not saying, you know, lay your whole life bare. You know, it's good to have some privacy, of course, but there's a difference between privacy and a false mask, right? So that's the thing. Okay, so let's have a look what the tarot has to say with regards to this. So it may be brought to your attention at this time that, you know, that maybe you're even feeling disconnected from people that you truly have a very profound and positive connection with, simply because you've been more fixated on the connections that will improve your social standing, or that will enable you to rise on a career path, or, you know, get your skills seen by those that you want to attract the attention of, right? That can help you in some way. So maybe someone speaks out and tells you, listen, I don't even recognize you anymore. Who is this person? You know, you're doing this, this, and this, and that's not like you at all. And then perhaps that's when the realization kicks in, or perhaps, you know, there is a demand, one too many demands that just seem to break your rules, and that's what triggers this, you know, this introspection. Okay. All right. Bit aggressive, but okay. So let's see. Oh, that's the thing. I knew it. 5 cards there. Not 4. And now main card here. All right. So that's okay. I will take all 6 cards. All right. So the first card you have is the Fool. Okay. So this is Aries energy pretty much. But I feel like with this being here, it's a case of you're having to take a new approach, right? You're having to address this issue and be like, okay, I might have to take a new path when it comes to this endeavor or whatever I'm doing, okay? Turn a new leaf, turn a new page. Doesn't mean you give up on what you're doing, but just change your approach to whatever this is and how this is playing out, right? So next card you have is the 9 of Wands in reverse, fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You could be dealing with an Aries. We have strong Aries here. I can also see Sag quite strongly as well. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius or have these strongly in your chart. Regardless, I feel like with the 9 of Wands in reverse, you're having to closely examine what is it that's kind of putting you at odds, right, with your principles, with how you wish to conduct yourself, how you wish to, you know, progress and move forward towards whatever your passions may be, wherever your career path lies, right? You're having to take some time out and go within and really, you know, take a closer look at that. Because while there's more than one pathway to achieving a goal, right, there are going to be some that seemingly get you there quicker, and I feel like that's the trajectory you're currently on. However, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily the best, most, you know, consciously aligned path, right? So that's why you're having to take a step back and really be quite truthful with yourself about, is this the right path for me? You know, how many morals or how many principles or how many sacrifices do I have to make in order to reach, you know, the outcome, right? Because it's something that's making you feel very at odds with yourself, right? I don't feel like you're feeling, you know, kind of weary about the environment you're in so much, but I feel like you're feeling more at odds with yourself than in anything, because the connections you're making, the people surrounding you, the energy around you is not aligned, right, to how you operate in your energy. So the next card you have is Temperance, okay? Sagittarius, as I was saying. So yeah, you need some time to reflect. You need to go within, listen to your, higher wisdom, that's coming through your higher self. And, take the time to consider what would be a better path for me? What's going to make me feel good? What's going to make me feel like, I accomplished my dream without having to, sacrifice my beliefs or my principles, or, do something in a way that will later provoke feelings of shame or regret, right? So this is it, you're having to reassess that, but you're being, shown as well, and communicated with, maybe unconsciously, that there is always another way. There's never one way to do things. There's always a higher path and a lower path, right? So it's up to you which one you take. Next card you have is the Six of Cups, water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, your energy. So what is it that you're reminiscing about? Because I feel like you are kind of looking back at the past, like, when things were so much simpler and I just did this for the love of doing it. And, I remember when me and my friends used to do this and we had so much fun. And I remember when me and my ex-partner used to do this and this. I remember when me and my family used to do this and this. And it was just for the love of it, right? It was for the passion, for the love of it. And it was so good. We had such great times. I remember how strong our connections were. There was so much love in the equation, So maybe that's where you'll feel like you're lacking at this time, because all your time, energy, and focus has gone into, how you're perceived, and getting that fame and that status and, the material aspect of things as well, living the high life, right? But it's making you really, especially with this energy here, you see his face, right? He's reminiscing on the past, the love he once felt, the ones he once had, demonstrated towards him, shown through various means, right? So you're really reflecting on that. I feel like when you do take some time out to yourself and do this introspective work, you're going to be full of nostalgia, right? And then the next card you have is the Six of Wands, okay? Fire energy again. Six of Wands in reverse. So there's something you're really just like, I don't even know what to do at this point. Because if I carry on down this path, I know that, in terms of my career or whatever project I'm doing or whatever goal I have, I will be successful. However, that will not feel like success to me, because it meant that I cut the last cord when it comes to, really demonstrating my values and who I truly am and what matters to me most. That means I've completely broken my boundaries in order to accomplish this, goal, whatever it is, to have the success. But it's not going to feel like success, and I feel like even if I go down this route and I get there, this can be used against me later on because I didn't stick to my values. I actually may have gone down a path that was very morally ambiguous, or I made decisions that were going to have a negative impact on others or whatever, right? Something that's going to make you, really beat yourself up later on. So that's why it's worth taking the time to weigh this up before you make a decision either way. Even if there's pressure or some kind of time limit that's been applied, you need a minute to really consider the implications of this decision, because I feel like you're at a point now where it's like, you can still change it, you can still do something to, change your trajectory a little bit so it feels more aligned. Adjustments are required after all. But it all comes down to what decision you make. Okay, so let's go into the clarifications now. Okay. So clarifying the Fool card, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You could be dealing with an air sign or having it in your chart. regardless, with the Queen of Swords being in reverse, clarifying the Fool, it's like there is, yeah, I mean, you want to take a different direction. I feel like you want to take another path with this. But I think you're afraid of the backlash you may face, especially if, say, you have an agent or some kind of management or someone that is, you know, doing a lot of behind the scenes work on your behalf, possibly an air sign female or someone with very strong, you know, feminine air sign kind of energy. You may be worried about the fallout that may occur with this person, how they might try and sabotage your career, or how they might try and, you know, trip you up in some way, that how they might be quite vindictive and dishonest with how they go about, you know, the next steps, because you didn't take the path that they expected you to take. You didn't willingly just agree to the terms that they set out, right? So there could be something like that where you feel like, you know, you're worried about the fallout with another person because you're not taking the path that they want you to take. You're choosing another path. So clarifying the Nine of Wands in reverse, you have the Moon in reverse. Okay, so this is Pisces energy here. I also associate with Cancer. But with this being in reverse, I feel like you're aware that something is amiss and that, you know, this decision is going to have consequences, real world consequences. So that's why you're taking time out to really reflect, because you're like, I know that this doesn't feel right to me. Intuitively, I know this doesn't feel right to me. But I don't know what the answer is. So I need some time out so I can reflect on that and why I'm feeling so at odds with this decision as well, and what the solution could be to that. Because I feel like, you know, you had some doubt, you had some feelings that, okay, this is maybe not the best path for me. These people, this connection may actually be quite toxic, and maybe this person isn't, you know, as morally you know, morally conscious as I am, or whatever, you know. So you're realizing certain things about the path you're taking, the people you're connected with, you know, and the choices you're making. So now you're reflecting on that. Clarifying the Temperance here, you have the Four of Pentacles. So Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So that's it. You're like, okay, I feel like you're going to, whatever offer was made, I don't think you're going to accept it, possibly, right? I think you're going to withdraw from a certain commitment, right? Withdraw your agreement to an offer, right? Because I feel like even if, say, if someone put a contract in your face and you've said verbally that you were going to take this, you haven't signed on the dotted line yet. So I feel like you're going to retract, you know, from the project, or, you know, the promotion or whatever, you know, because your higher self is guiding you and telling you, listen, there is another way, there is a better path for you, this isn't it, right? So you're kind of listening to your higher reason here, your higher reasoning, and knowing that, okay, I am choosing to trust in that I will find an alternative, one that doesn't require me to bend my beliefs or morals or my principles, doesn't require me to just destroy my boundaries and become someone that I never wanted to be. So I feel like you are withdrawing from a situation, an environment, from certain commitments, right? Clarifying the Six of Pentacles here. Six of Cups, sorry. You have the Death card. So this is your card, Scorpio, okay? So yeah, you are literally like, okay, I need to change. This situation needs to change. Because all I can think about at this point is how good it used to be. How much I took, possibly, you know, the simple pleasures in life, the good things that I had in my life for granted. And now, you know, I'm losing them. And I don't want to risk losing any more connections, or, you know, the things in my life that really made me feel good to begin with. So I need to change. This needs to change, right? So I need to do something dramatic. I need to pull back from whatever situation I'm in and reconnect with those who really do care about my well-being, those that did want to actually support me, and that, you know, look at opportunities that are aligned to my vision, right? And then finally, clarifying the Six of Wands in reverse, you have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So this is it. You're understanding that you're not trapped, you're not tied into a situation. Again, I feel like if there's any contracts involved, you haven't signed yet, right? Because intuitively you knew you needed some time. There was something that was amiss, something you weren't seeing. Perhaps you found something out and it made you realize what it is you're really getting yourself into. So now you're like, okay, I know at this point that this is actually no good for me. So let me explore other opportunities. Let me find another path, you know, because there isn't only one way to do this, to achieve this goal. So let me see what else I can accomplish, right? Because I feel like this is very much to do with, you know, whatever your passion is, your creative skill, you know, your career choice, you know, whatever it is you want to set out to do in life, right? In whatever form that takes. So I feel like you know that you are not restricted, you're not locked in, that you have options, you have choices, regardless of how, you know, management or an employer or, you know, a PR person or whoever makes you feel, right? You have choices, you can make a choice. You're not locked into the situation, right? So it's up to you to find a new way to achieve your goal without having to compromise your values, right? That I cannot stress enough. Okay. And then finally, as an outcome, you have Eight of Cups in reverse. So yeah, you are not quite ready to walk away entirely from this situation yet. You know, because if this was in the upright, I'd say, man, you're just like bailing, you know. But I don't feel like that. I feel like you're carefully weighing this up, the pros and the cons, and what is really being asked of you, and what is required of you in order to achieve this, you know, this milestone in success, whatever it is, right? Whatever form that takes. So now you're looking at things, you know, from a more objective lens without the, you know, dollar sign goggles or whatever, right? And you're like, okay, so maybe I don't have to completely just up and leave and forget about my dreams. I don't get that at all. What I get is I need to change how I'm doing things. I need to make some adjustments, right? Make some significant changes. So that's what I feel like you're going to do ultimately, right? And you're going to start exploring what would be the best way to do that. So Scorpio, I hope this helps. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And yeah, I will be doing another reading for you very soon. I also have an announcement. So I hope that you've seen that. Otherwise, you can find it on my YouTube channel here with regards to my new Patreon. All right. So if you want access to exclusive readings and other sorts of content that you won't find anywhere else, you can become a patron. All right. But anyway, I'm wishing you so much love, so much support, you know, and yeah, I hope this helps. Do let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notifications bell so you're informed when your next reading goes live, okay? Sending you lots of love, lots of encouragement, and I'll speak to you soon.